Good morning, everyone. It's Peter with the Garden Family. It's a beautiful morning on July 12th in Southwest Ohio, Zone 6A, and we're going to take a little tour of the garden today. As far as the layout of the garden, we live on a small suburban lot, just a little over a third of an acre, and the garden itself takes up about a 30 by 30 foot section of our yard. One of the things we've done this year is a focus on pollinators and flowers to add some beauty to the garden, but also help with the fruit production. So you can see these orange flowers that are kind of front and center here. These are cosmos flowers. Below we have petunias, and then quite large, sort of fallen over a little bit from the wind, are the hollyhocks. They're sort of at the tail end of their cycle here, but they grew over 9 feet tall. We also have zinnias and spider flowers as well. All of these flowers do a very good job of attracting pollinators and keeping the bees buzzing around to pollinate our squash and melon plants. Why don't we go over this way and take a look at the tomatoes. We're growing over 30 tomato plants this year. It's our favorite thing to grow in the garden. And some of the varieties that we're growing, we have Super Sweet 100 cherry tomatoes. We're growing Brandywine Pink heirloom tomatoes, Black Krim heirloom tomatoes, as well as German Johnson and German Queen heirloom tomatoes. We also grew what I call the mystery tomato. We got it at an Asian market and it just said tomato on it. So far it looks like it's growing like a medium-sized hybrid tomato. We plan on canning this year, so we are growing a few different tomatoes for canning, including San Marzano, as well as some Celebrity and Roma tomatoes, which are a little bit smaller because I planted them in succession after our garlic harvest. Other tomato varieties that we're growing include Juliet, as well as a few other hybrid slicing tomatoes. I probably missed a couple in there, but you can definitely see we're not going to be lacking in tomatoes. Why don't we come over here and check out the pepper plants. So on this pathway you can see the tomatoes on the left side and the peppers are on the right side. The varieties of peppers that we're growing include jalapeno, serrano, which is really producing a lot for us this year, an Asian style hot pepper called gong bao. We also have poblano peppers, and a sweet pepper called the Jimmy Nardello. We also grow our eggplants in this area. We have traditional eggplants as well as Japanese style eggplants, which are producing much earlier for us. Also seen on the left are some bush beans. I like to grow these next to the tomatoes. This is on the west side of the tomatoes, so it shades the lower fruit from the hot afternoon sun. As we come around the corner, we have two of these cattle panel trellises, and it grows a lot of our vining fruits. This butternut squash on the left side here is a massive plant, and in our small gardening space would take up a lot of the square footage. So what we do is we grow them vertically on these cattle panel trellises. Same thing goes from the cantaloupe on the right, and then farther in the foreground, watermelon on the right as well. In the foreground on the left side, we have our sugar snap peas, which are just about done producing, given all the heat we've had. And those are going to get replaced by a Malabar spinach plant, which is not part of the spinach family, but it's a vining plant that the leaves taste similar to spinach. Around one more corner, this walkway has more of our cool weather plants and our herbs. This is the northwestern side of the garden, so it does get afternoon shade from a large maple tree next to the garden. You can see these hoops here. These are where we keep our cool weather plants, and we keep those under cover. We planted these out in early April. Had a series of freezes and the cover helped protect the plants. And in the heat, the cover helps shade the plants. Under cover, we are just finishing up our lettuce, which has really produced a lot for us this year. We also have dinosaur kale, and we were growing cauliflower in this bed here, but now we're transitioning that to beets. And over in this area right behind me and to my left, or your right, we have all of our herbs. We're growing a variety of basils, thyme, dill, which we've let go to flower, as well as cilantro, which we've let go to seed. Got my compost pile on the left side and a few volunteer plants, including a volunteer pumpkin and a volunteer cucumber from last year. Most of the watering for our garden is done using rainwater. In the very background against the house, you can see a large wooden box. Underneath that box is a 300-gallon tank, and it's connected to the downspout of the house. And then we pipe a 2-inch PVC pipe with a spigot here, so we can basically just turn that on and get water. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour of our small garden. Happy gardening, everyone.